Miki, thank you very much for joining the videos on YouTube. Thank you very much. Perhaps you could do a quick introduction to who you are and maybe how you knew René.
Sure. So, as I said, my name is Miki. I'm currently doing a PhD at UCL in theoretical physics. And I met René in Bristol, where I lived with him for 3 years, so the entire of his time at Bristol. And so yes, I lived with him in a halls in first year, then moved into a house with him in second and third year. And we were very close friends. I would even go to say best friends at university. And yeah, I guess that's how I knew René. That's started it.
Tell us a little bit about him as a person, as a friend, as a student too, and as a rower perhaps. But
so I think his relationship, our relationship was quite competitive. We were always trying to push each other to do new things, always, academically as well as in a sports angle. But
so you're saying there's always a lot going on, and very competitive personalities.
Yeah, competitive personalities. I don't want to give it too much weight, but
betray the secrets.
Of course, but no, it was. We pushed each other to do a lot of things, but we were always there for each other. He was always there for me, and for me, it was very surprising, as for many people, to knew what he was going through at the time. Because obviously, even though I was with him, most of the day, in second and third year, less so in first year, it was only towards the end of second year or towards the middle of second year that I realised what kind of trouble he was going through, and it was just incredible for me to see how such a person who gives a lot to other people, as we've seen from the outpouring of emotion and the outpouring of stories that have come after his death, that a lot of people were touched by him in a very positive manner, where he helped them through tough times. And it's still incredible to see how such a person who could help so much could not help himself, so to say. But as I say, he was a very warm person sometimes. a bit standoffish. He knew what he wanted. He was very driven. I remember it was I think it was beginning of third year. Yes, he was doing mechanical engineering at Bristol, and he maybe realised it wasn't his cup of tea. Maybe it wasn't going where he wanted to be. And most of the time, people I think would stay on for 4 years, which is what he was planning to do. But he saw an opportunity to go to do a computer science discipline he thought was more rewarding to him in the longer term, and he just obviously decided to do so. He decided to apply. And I remember, I think we went to the pub, just him and I. It must have been the first few weeks back at third year, and he's like, "This is my plan. This is what I'm going to do." And it was quite sad, to be honest. I thought we were going to live together for 4 years, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But our relationship was definitely characterized by the fact that we were very driven, but at the same time we were very close and able to talk about many things, closer things, and I was always able to confide in him. I like to say he was able to confide in me, but I wasn't always the case. Unfortunately, he was quite a closed off person, as am I, but he found it a bit tougher just to speak about things that ailed him. But I think in third year it was I think it was the best time at university. I remember, so I joined the rowing club as a novice in the second year, and you kind of saw what sort of camaraderie that sport brings about, and what sort of challenges you have to go through. Because René obviously was a very active person. He had many sports that he was good at. For example, water polo at school. I believe he was on the team of one of the best in the country. But it just wasn't his thing. So he was looking for something else. I remember I started the rowing, and I kind of showed him what was going on. He was seeing how the effort, any sort of progress you see is so tangible, and it's hard going. And I think it appealed to his persona, where those tangible efforts you're able to be rewarded and go through a lot of shit, to be honest, to get there. And so yeah, in third year he started rowing in a novice program, which is why he met quite a few people who would be racing in ARC later this year. And yes, I'm not really sure where I was going there, but as I say, he was very active person, very lively. So,
And then events took over. How did you hear the news? How did you react? What impact has it had on you since? Because there's a tremendous impact about suicide and the people around as well, as friends and family.
well, I think I got a call from Max. I think 2 days after it happened. He died on the Monday. I think I got a call on the Wednesday, and it was just. I remember the words exactly. It was just Max coming up and saying, "Have you spoken to René lately?" and this and that. Like, well, he was supposed to come up to Bristol next week, and then he tells me what happened, and obviously, it didn't feel real. I'm not sure it still does anymore, but I went in and I thought, I then went on to tell quite a few people, and but so the impact, I think I dealt it differently than most other people. I don't know. I threw myself into my work. I found that was the easiest. So this was in my fourth. This is January. I'm coming up to finishing my project, finishing my university degree, and I remember, for me, it didn't seem like it was real. For me, it seemed like it was obviously a big joke, and quite frankly, I wasn't equipped to deal with those emotions at the time. And I kind of threw myself into work, and I think I'm quite good at, once I have my head down, I can switch off. However, for a lot of people it was a bit differently. For example, my housemate, who knew René as well as I did, her name is Hannah, and she found it a bit tough, and I think most people still do. I found it hard to talk about it. I think up until this race, I've not really spoken to anyone about it except Hannah, my ex-housemate, because I always find it tough. Like Max said, I don't think he was not prepared to talk about it. But now he's saying how he's done this interview for the Telegraph. He has to go out and talk to random people and convince them of the cause. And I think this is one of the major reasons why I think this race is such an incredible idea. Because for me, at least, it gives me an outlet to talk about it, even if I'm not comfortable with it. But I think you're never going to be comfortable with it. It's always about pushing those boundaries.
Sure.
Always trying to make people aware that there's something more beneath the surface, so to say. I think we all like to pretend everything's all right, obviously, like René did. But yes, I think the race.
It's going to be a big challenge, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be very testing. I mean, rowing with people, as we've said with Ian, it's a short race, but this is several weeks.
Yes.
There's one group in one place. There's no escape.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. So I've been on a few sailing trips before, and even with the closest friends of mine, after a week in a boat, you have to say, "Oh, you start to hate their guts." To be honest, it's just every little thing makes it difficult. But I think therefore the ground is fertile for conversations that need to be had. And I think it'll help. Everyone on this boat will be going through their own problems, and we'll be dealing with René's death differently. And I think it'll be certainly an outlet for us to talk about it in a safe space and actually show people. Because at the end of the day, I think the race is not just raising money for the charities, but it's also trying to start a conversation. Because I still find it hard to talk about mental health. I think you go through phases in and out. You're never really equipped to realise whether what you're going through is unique, whether it's the same, whether it's normal to have those feelings. And I think the race, hopefully, the events will have on, and just the main goal of trying to get people to talk more is very important, because there's just still, unfortunately, so much happening. I mean, every other week you hear, not every other week, thankfully, but every month or so, you honestly hear a person at Bristol has taken their life, and unfortunately, it seems like Bristol is doing quite badly in that front. But yeah.
But it's quite a legacy in some respects, isn't it? I mean, everybody wishes it wasn't necessary to have that legacy. Mm-hmm. But if by doing the race and getting those positives and encouraging dialogue and people to talk, even as the group, itself,
Yeah.
but a wider audience too. That's
I
going
mean,
to be a real
you
benefit.
have to play with the cards you dealt with, right? Unfortunately, what happened to René happened, and we can only make things better down the line. I think there's if the money we raise and the conversations we have can at least help one more person, I think it's certainly worth it. And I think in talking to my friends, even broaching the idea of the race with even my closest friends, it was tough to say, because as I say, I've got good close friends, but even then I find it tough. And I think opening up about what the race is for and so forth has even made me aware of other people's problems. I think it's slowly I see more situations where people are able to talk, even within my closer group. Obviously, it's slow progress, but progress nonetheless. And I think that's one of the great things about the race. Except, the actual racing, I'm not a fan of that.
I'm sure you're going to do great. Miki, thank you very much
Not at all.
for joining us.
Sorry for rambling a bit.
No, you've been absolutely terrific, and we'll be talking lots more over the course of the next 9 or 12 months
Sure,
as
of
we
course.
get ready for, and then the race itself. Sadly, I won't be on the boat today, thankfully. But great, thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.